lunch has been eaten, and now I am on to sewing the panels, side panels down the pant leg, and I'm also watching Harry Potter because, you know, winter and Harry Potter. So yeah, I am just attached the side panel to the back leg, and one of the things I wanted to make a conscious effort of doing is that this fabric has like there is no right side, wrong side. It's just because of the type of weave that it is, it's kind of like a mirror inverted image of the pattern on either side. So I wanted to add a little bit of detail by, for the panel, sewing it inverted compared to what the main leg will be. So I'll have these sort of subtle panels that kind of look like it's a different fabric, but it's not. It's the same fabric, it's just reversed down the side. So I think that might look kind of cool. I've thought about adding different colored fabric. You know, other times I've thought about sewing this pattern and adding like a different pattern or something down the panel down the side to add interest, but I worry that the only reason I haven't done it is that I have concerns it might look too much like tuxedo pants, which is not a bad thing. Like, tuxedo pants are kind of cool, but I was also thinking of like less tuxedo pants and more Adidas pants, like track pants. And I don't necessarily want track pants. I am a child of the 90s, so like a teenager of the 90s, I should say. So the track pants, platform shoes type of thing totally were part of my wardrobe at one point, but now in my late 30s, not so much. So yeah, it's looking good so far. I love the texture of, I don't know, yeah, you can see the shadow from the light behind, but you can see I love these texture differences, the color differences, they're pretty fun. Okay, now to sew the front leg on and to finish off those seams and do some top stitching down those seams, and then I'll be ready to sew the legs together and hopefully have an actual working pair of pants fairly soon. The stuff comes together really fast once you get the legs attached to each other. It just comes really fast. And then what I'll have to do is finish the hem, the bottom hem, and on both legs. And then I'm also going to finish, have to do the waistband. And that's always the trickiest thing. Waistbands are tricky and also really annoying to put in when it comes to elastic. I can't stand doing it. But I love wearing elastic waisted stuff. Oh well, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it. Okay, back to sewing, back to the Half-Blood Prince. Let's go. I just realized after I pinned both legs together to stitch them up, I'm so glad that I didn't stitch them up. I just remembered I forgot to do edge stitching on the seams. And I read it in the instructions. I totally did. But it just like slipped my mind. And then I'm looking at the orange pair that I already made, and I can see, I don't know if you can, like 2 rows of stitching. So there's edge stitching right here and then the other top stitching right there. I forgot to do that. I should do that before I go and sew anymore. Whew, crisis averted. Almost I mean, it probably wouldn't make that big of a difference if I had not caught it. But I totally had a moment a while ago when I was just sewing the side panels in the legs, and I was looking, because you have to put like right sides together, and I'm looking at the front of the leg and the side panel, and I'm staring at it going, oh crap, did I sew the wrong thing to the wrong thing? Because this isn't facing. Why isn't it facing the right way? The notches aren't matching up. Oh crap, I like ruined this. I'm gonna have to like piece something together with the leftover fabric that I have. But then I just realized that and maybe you have also experienced this when you're sewing. I had the right side facing on one and the wrong side facing on the other, and so I was trying to attach those. All I had to do was just flip one of them around, and then it was fine. But I seriously had this moment of panic for a good 30 seconds before I smartened up. This is what I get for listening to my audiobook while I was doing it. I took a pause from Harry Potter. I put on another Harry Potter now, but I was listening to my audiobook, and it was very distracting, just to say the least. Don't listen to historical fiction with very descriptive scenes in it while you're trying to focus on doing something, because your brain is not going to be with the thing that you're trying to do. It's going to be with the book. Yep. Anyway, you can read between the lines there. Anyway, I'm watching Harry Potter. I just finished watching The Half-Blood Prince, and now I'm watching Deathly Hallows, right? Yeah, Deathly Hallows Part 1. I much prefer, as I'm sure a lot of people do, the later Harry Potter movies. It's been a long time since I've read the books. Maybe I'll do that over Christmas. I don't know. The audiobooks are fantastic. I really love the audiobooks. So I might listen to those, maybe, I don't know. I get my fill from the movies, and I like watching Harry Potter. It's on my list of movies I love watching again and again, because it's like putting on a favorite record, and it's good background noise. You know what's going to happen, and you can kind of sing along with it, I guess. Yeah, I have a long list of movies that are like that with me. Harry Potter, for like all of the Harry Potter movies. Another one would be Center Stage. It's a dance movie, along with Burlesque, which has Christina Aguilera and Cher. I love that movie so much. Oh my gosh. Pitch Perfect. There seems to be a theme with all of these movies. Not Harry Potter, but like all the other ones I tend to watch again and again tend to be musicals or dance movies, which probably would be in line to like listening to a favorite record. And Pitch Perfect. I went through a phase when Pitch Perfect first came out on Canadian Netflix. I watched it once a day. It got to the point where I think it was almost a problem. I was watching it so often. I haven't watched it for a while now. Maybe I'll watch it later tonight. We'll see. Anyway, that's my break. I'm gonna refill my mason jar of kombucha. This is homemade kombucha. It is pineapple flavored. When I brew my kombucha, I usually, when I bottle it and do a second ferment, I usually use fruit juice to do it, and so this time I used pineapple juice, and that's probably amongst my favorite, aside from doing strawberry kombucha with just cutting up strawberries and putting inside. I love it. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish drinking the rest of this kombucha, maybe get a little bit more, and take the pins out of the legs so that I can put edge stitching on all the seams to make them look professional. Okay, let's go. Okay, I've fixed it. Here we go. You can see my slightly sloppy edge stitching. I mean, it all looks fine. I'm not the most particular sewer or knitter. I am comfortable with wobbly lines and things being slightly thick and thin and all that stuff. So anyway, yay, I fixed it. We have 2 lines going down. Look how good this looks. So this is the side panel. I love the reverse, having it the reverse of both the front and the back. I think it's pretty subtle and it's going to look pretty cute, I think, as the side panels on the outside of your leg. Your leg, my leg, huh? Yeah. I also am thinking with the leftovers of this fabric, and I have some other leftovers, some Atelier Brunet, is it Brunet Atelier? Whatever. The really expensive, pretty rayon fabric that comes in gorgeous colors and patterns. I have a little bit of scraps and stuff left over from a strata top that I made, and it's a similar color to this, a kind of caramel color. I really want to make a head wrap with it. Either a little scarf, like to tie, like boink, or what I really want to do is I want to have enough fabric to do a full head wrap so that I can wrap my head and just have my bangs out. I'm really unhappy with my hair lately and it's driving me bananas, and I want to be able to tie it up and hide it as it's doing whatever it's doing until I get it cut again. And yeah, I should go looking for patterns. Mini hoodles. Crisis averted. We have pockets. There are the cute little pocket on the side. Side panel. The butt. Here we go. Now I have come to the part where I have seamed up the legs. Yahoo! And now this is the fun part of pants pattern, where you have to insert one leg into another leg and then stitch the rise, so basically where the crotch is, and then flip them right side out, and then suddenly you have a pair of pants, which is pretty cool. So this pant leg here has been turned right side out. And let's just marvel at how great this looks. I'm pretty thrilled. I love this pocket. I love the pockets on these pants. They're so deep. You can fit all sorts of junk in there. So this is the right side out one, which means I'm going to put it into the wrong side out pant leg, and I just have to remember to line everything up the right way. This is when notches are very important. Yay. Okie dokie. Let's do this. Do 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 do. Great. Cool. I'm going to pin these up and then stitch them together. Finish off the seams with overlock stitch, and then turn them right side out, and then I'll have to attach the waistband, and then we'll almost be done. How exciting is that? I'm pretty thrilled. I am really super duper thrilled. Oh, and I should tell you about this giant sweater that I'm wearing. Just cause it gets a little chilly in here, and I don't really want to turn up the heat because then suddenly it feels way too hot in here and then I'll have to open a window, and I don't want to do that. So this sweater is like my house sweater, essentially. It's a Loopy Mango sweater pattern. I think it's called the Her Cardigan. And it's done in Loopy Mango, like big loop. I think that's what it's called. Maybe it's not called that, I don't know. It's a really bulky weight and very, very pilly. Super soft merino that I made this about 2 years ago, and sometimes I wear it outside, but most of the time I just wear it at home as kind of like a house coat. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like, comes below the butt type of thing. It's oversized and glorious. I made it around the exact same time that Beyonce's Lemonade was released, and I was on a stress leave from work because of a myriad of reasons that I'm not going to go into. But this was part of my healing process, was listening to Beyonce nonstop for 2 whole weeks, and then knitting this cardigan and taking care of my mental wellness. And yeah, I love this cardigan because I feel like it's a power cardigan, because that song in the video, that Beyonce video where she's in that beautiful yellow dress and she's just beating the crap out of things with a baseball bat, that's how I feel in this sweater, only the cozy version. Yeah, I really like it. We're taking a break from watching Harry Potter so that I can turn these pant legs. The edges have been finished, clipped, and all that stuff. Now we're going to turn them inside out, right side out, whatever. Gonna reach in, grab this leg. Pants! Yay! Suddenly now, they're wrong side out, but pants exist. Yahoo! These are gonna be great. These are gonna be so good when they're done. I'm stoked. Now I just have to press the crotch seams and proceed to the next step, which I think is putting on the waistband. Yes. These pants will almost be done. I'm so excited. Almost. Okay, here they are. We're going to excuse the slight mess over here. We're just gonna ignore this. This is just normal kitchen Susan living and making a disaster kind of mess. But these are the pants. So what I love about the free range slacks is the high-waisted style of it. They sit fairly high up. and the elastic waist. And I know for a fact once I wash these, they're going to tighten up even more and fit even better. And I also really, one thing I did do with these pants compared to the other ones that I made, the first pair that I made, the tangerine pair, which I should go and fix actually, is that I hemmed the bottom right here. So I have a folded up hem. You can kind of see it like that. So they are a little bit cropped. They're like little ankle pants, which is what I love. They're perfect for work. And even with this like cropped, really cropped sweater, I think it still looks pretty awesome, and it's like color coordination works out really well. I am thrilled with these pants. I'm gonna wear them probably for the next 3 days. And they are roomy enough that they kind of feel like you're wearing lounge pants, but I don't know, I think it's probably because of the material choice and the fact that they're high-waisted and a little bit tapered. You know, they kind of look a little classier than pajama pants. I'm really thrilled to wear these to work. And I immediately want to make another pair, but I'm going to resist because I know for a fact if I start sewing again immediately after sewing this, I'll probably mess something up. But one thing I am going to do is sew a couple of headbands, and I am going to be using a headband pattern that it's not even a headband pattern, it's a headband that I bought at a whatchamacallit, at a market one time, and I really like it, and it kind of pulls up and ties like that, but I want to make some in some other fabrics. I'm going to use up some scraps, and yeah, that'll be the last thing that I'll share with you today is me making some headbands. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yay, pants! So this is the headband that I am using as a template. It is just a broadcloth cotton headband that it's really easy to make. So I'm going to be using this, I'm going to be tracing it. I think I'm going to make it a little bit shorter because when I tie it, I find that the ties here are a little too long for what I want. So I'm going to be making it a little shorter so it'll fit the fabric that I have. This fabric is Tula Pink Monkey Wrench, and you can probably see there are monkeys on it holding wrenches, which is pretty cute. So yeah, we're gonna put this down, gonna trace it out and sew it together, press it all closed, and Bob's your uncle. So now I've sewn everything together, right sides. I'm going to trim the seam allowances, especially the corners here just so I can get a tight kind of turn on the corner. I'm gonna trim the stuff down just to reduce the bulk. I guess really I could have sewn it closer to the edge, but because the fabric was only roughly cut the same size, as you can see like right along here, I just overcompensated. So I'm just gonna trim everything down and then flip the whole thing right side out. And then I'm gonna flip it right side out and then press it pretty aggressively with my iron and lots of steam to make sure it lies flat. And then I will sew the opening closed and then tie it around my head and feel cool. So as I'm turning this right side out, it gets a little tight kind of at the top in order to flip it all out. So I use a secret weapon to do this. I can kind of get it, especially if the fabric's a little tough. I want to get the point pretty good. So I use a knitting needle. One of my straight knitting needles to kind of poke it out. So I usually use the top of the needle there, just so that I don't puncture a hole, but I will use the tip just to kind of force it all the way. There we go, nice sharp point. This is way easier than the other one I made. Because I use the same fabric as my pants and it's a lot thicker than this cotton, quilting cotton. So this is a little easier to flip out. I totally just put my knitting needle through it. Oh well. We're going to ignore that happened. Okay, I have stitched it closed. You can kind of see, not really kind of see, I just stitched it closed there. Now I have a hair tie and I can put it top of my hair and let's see, get my hair out of the way, like that. Try not to tie my hair into this knot that I'm trying to do. Oh my god. Great. And there we go. Ugh, my hair's kind of stuck in it, but you get kind of the point. Yeah. Headband. Like, how fast is that? Super quick. And this is great because of the weird situation my hair is in right now, which is like partially an undercut, kind of growing out but not quite growing out. I don't really know what it's doing, but these little headbands are definitely going to help. I did make another one before I made this one out of the same fabric as my pants. So you can see here on one side it's this one, on the other side it's the reverse. What? This one is definitely has a lot more heft to it, structure, just because of the nature of the fabric. I'm gonna take this off. Oh God. Yeah, you can see how it just tied a little knot around it. This one is a little wider, and I'm probably gonna wear this one a lot because it's basically the same color as my hair. Tricky to do on camera. There we go. Oh, my dumb hair. Getting in everywhere. There we go. I like tying a little bow on the side, kind of, because my hair is kind of asymmetrical. So my natural part is kind of right here. So I always like to tie the knot where my natural part is. Yeah, this is the other one. And which makes me feel really matchy, you know. Yeah, so I guess that brings us to the end of my unorthodox episode of KNITLIB the podcast. Talked a little bit about knitting, not really so much the things I was working on, but you know, this finished object, this giant yellow beast right there. But I hope you enjoyed this sort of different take on my podcast episode. And the next episode I'm going to be recording probably sooner rather than later. I have some cool things I want to share with you. One of them being a sock design that I'm working on, which I'm pretty excited about. And some other ideas I have brewing. I also want to do a bit of a Q&A episode as well. So maybe in the comments, we can use the comments in this video. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer on here in this platform, I put this up already on Instagram and I got a few questions from there, but yeah, I'm gonna put it forward. I'm not gonna answer the questions in the comments. The idea is that the questions can be answered in a video format like this. So it could be anything knit related, book related, library related, life related to a point, and yeah, cat related, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that up to you. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did like this video and you want to keep up to date, feel free to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell if you want to be notified on your phone when new episodes are coming up. Feel free to give this little video a little like. That helps me out a lot. And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in this week, friends. I hope that you get to make all the things, that you get to do all the magic, because you're magic. And yeah. We'll talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.